how excited I am to have everyone here, but most of all, this amazing panel that we have. These are our amazing Black alumni of the Bellevue School District, and they are absolutely phenomenal. I'll introduce myself. My name is Michelle Williams-Clark. I'm the Executive Director of the Eastside Youth Coalition, and I've had the honor of knowing most of these young people, some as long as a decade and a half, 8 years, 7 years, 6 years, but an incredibly long time. And those relationships fill my soul. They're my reason for being, and they're incredible young people, and we cannot be prouder of them. They're going to share their experiences from high school on to college and the remarkable things that they've done. They're each phenomenal, and they will be introducing themselves, but I can also say that they have touched so many lives, and they don't just come back to do one interaction. They come back continually to support students who are on the same journey that they were on when they were in high school. So cannot be prouder of them. They should all be incredibly proud of themselves. And again, they'll introduce themselves, but I will also introduce our moderator, Shamari Jones. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure that you see these three beautiful faces that are joining us virtually. And they will also introduce themselves, but they are equally remarkable because we have, coming from Florida, coming from DC, taking their time, coming from Seattle and University of Washington, taking their time to spend time with us. So I'm going to turn this over to our remarkable moderator and our beautiful panelists. Thank you so much.
I'm trying to feel like a proud papa. This is like, don't laugh at me. This is a really cool opportunity. I'm so happy that I get to spend, 30 minutes. We should have some food and be sitting around the table and just chopping it up. And maybe we'll get a chance to do that sometime in the very near future on Michelle's dime. She's rich. And we'll talk about that after the 30-minute session. We'll wait for Mignon and Rasan to come back before we get that party started. The real honor, I think, is having a few people in the audience who will also get the opportunity to experience what your experiences were as students of the Bellevue School District, and your journey and trajectory through it onto what it is that you either have done beyond it in college or are doing presently beyond college, because some of you all have conquered that college journey and now are on into your life and your professional careers. And so I'm really excited. Those of you who are on camera, you can't see me right now, but when I get to the point of asking questions, I'm gonna pop up and be like, what's good? As I directly ask you the question. I got a bunch of questions. I'm gonna try my best to get to them in the 30 minutes. We're gonna try to, as best as possible, answer them with fidelity and some level of brevity. That's gonna be difficult, but we're gonna do our very best. And question number one, I'm Shamari, and I work here in the Bellevue School District. I'm the Director of Equity. I've had a lot of experiences with many of these young people. And like Michelle, I wake up every day to serve these people and those people and these people. And I'm very happy and excited to get to sit in this seat right now and do this thing. And so for those of you who are panelists, I'm gonna ask you a few questions, starting with just please share a little bit about who you are. And just start with your name, what school you attended while here in the Bellevue School District, what you did beyond the Bellevue School District, where you're still where you attended or whether you have left where you attended beyond the Bellevue School District. And then what helped you survive your transition beyond high school and on to college. And so we're going to start with the people on the screen because those are the folks that are most difficult for me to wave down. So I'm going to start with Rasan. I'm going to go to my girl Beza, and then I'm going to go to Mignon.
All right. Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Rasan Corbin. I'm a 2019 Sammamish High School graduate. I currently attend Florida A&M University studying computer engineering. And then one thing that helped me with my transition from high school to college, I was already heavily involved in high school and I wanted to keep that up. So that was kind of my motivation to, get out of my comfort zone in college and just go around making friends, joining organizations and whatnot. So staying involved helped me a lot.
Thank you, brother. B, what you got?
Hi, everyone. My name is Beza. I attended Interlake High School, graduated from Interlake, but I did Running Start at Bellevue College for 2 years. And I'm currently at the University of Washington in Seattle. Couldn't make it today because I just got out of class. But yeah, so I would say one thing that helped me survive high school and, helped me with my transition into college, I would say was kind of just all these programs that I was involved in. I want to say Miss Clark was a big resource for me when it came to the whole college application process and everything. She was kind of just there, not even only during that period of time where we were applying for colleges, but kind of, I mean, I met Miss Clark my sophomore year of high school. So from then on, she's been a big resource. So yeah, I would say that and kind of building like a community of people just like me and who have the same goals as me. Yeah, so that's it.
Thank you. Mignon.
Hi.
With the blowout.
You guys, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Mignon. I'm a freshman international business major from Seattle, and I graduated from Sammamish High School in 2023. And currently, I already said Howard, yeah. And I would say one thing that helped me survive high school and my transition to college would be, like as I said, Miss Clark. I would say she was the biggest support that I had, and through her, I felt really confident in what I was doing. And now I know I wouldn't say I know the whole process of college, but I'm starting to get used to it still. And I would say like with her help, it's been easier. And yeah.
Thank you. Folks in the room, starting with Jay, and down the line.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Jeremy Mumba. I graduated from Interlake in 2019. I majored in law and justice and cybersecurity at Central Washington, where I also graduated from in December.
Ooh.
And
Kudos.
I would say how I survived and thrived the transition from high school to college would be a strong support system. So my family, my peers, my professors, teachers, people like Ms. Clark, of course, who just encouraged me. They pushed me and they just believed in me. So I wouldn't have done it without them. So,
Okay. My name is Ahmed Jamo. I graduated 2020 Interlake High School, repping the COVID class.
All right, baby.
Yeah. I currently attend Seattle University, and I'm a third-year student pursuing a bachelor's in science and nursing. What helped me survive that transition, I would say it's my group of friends I hang around with. I think it's a good support system I have. And also having the honor and privilege to know Ms. Clark since I was 9 years old.
Wow.
Always having her support. So forever grateful for that.
I'm Samira Shahan, and I graduated from Sammamish High School in 2023 this past summer, or last year. And I'm currently going to Bellevue College and studying political science. And something that helped me survive and thrive from my transition from high school to college was having also a great support system like Clark, a great community and interests that I wanted to take from high school all the way to college. Yeah, that's the transition.
Awesome.
everyone. I'm Aisha. I graduated from Bellevue High School in 2020, so COVID class. I'm currently graduating senior in electrical computer engineering at the University of Washington. And what helped me in my transition was kind of everybody was saying, having like-minded, driven people around you and then having a strong support system. And even if you don't have a support system, you can go out and find that within mentors like Ms. Clark or like certain professors, teachers, counselors, just people who will, you know, allow you to be upset, allow you to feel like you don't know anything, and just like give you that safe space to work through your process.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this next question is for both Besa and Aisha. And I'm going to go to Aisha first because Besa's kind of off, so maybe she's busy for the moment. But what do you wish you knew about the entire college process when you're in high school that you know now? So I'll go Aisha first and then back to you, Besa.
Honestly, something that I just figured out recently is the fact that like nobody knows everything. So even like, let's say that you have a mentor like Ms. Clark, right? I've known Ms. Clark for the last 8 years. She knows a lot, but even she doesn't know everything. And I think it's important to be okay with not knowing everything, because that's when you start to psych yourself out. You're like, okay, these people, they know more than me, or maybe their family is more involved in certain things. And then you start making excuses to like tell yourself that you're not worth something. But if you start to understand like how big the world really is, and that you're never gonna know everything, that's when it's easier to like ask for help and like reach out to people so you can get resources that you need to without feeling shy in that way.
Mm. What about you, B?
I would say a really big resource or something that I wish that I knew was how influential the people around you can be. And I would say kind of just learning how to network and meeting different people and kind of, I guess, using them as a resource. I feel like sometimes we're too afraid to ask for help, but especially in this college application process, you need help. You're not gonna do it all by yourself. So I would say don't be shy, reach out to people. Just even if it's just to ask for someone to look over your essay or anything like that. Don't be shy. That's, I want to say, the biggest thing. People are usually willing to help. And another thing that I would say I wish I knew was that it's never too early to start thinking about college. I would always push it off as like something that I needed to worry about once I was a junior, once I was a senior. But if you're younger, if you're still a freshman, if you're still a sophomore, it's important to start thinking about college, and the decisions that you make now are very influential into how your college application process is going to go. So yeah, that's something that I wish I knew.
Thank you. Profound words. Way back in the day, Miss Clark and I attended Black colleges. Way back in the day, Miss Clark.
Way back in the day.
For me, before your parents probably even met one another. And so this particular question, I attended Tuskegee University, and I was a freshman in 1992. For those of you who attended historically Black colleges, what was your experience coming from a predominantly white school and city, and describe the gifts of being a part of an HBCU as well as what the challenges are? We're gonna go to Rasan, and then we're gonna go to Mignon.
All right, cool. Like I said, my introduction, I go to Florida A&M University. So one thing I do like about being at an HBCU versus PWI is that I was always in higher level STEM classes for when I was at Bellevue College before I transferred, as well as in high school. So it feels like a better motivator or a greater motivator seeing other Black students in the same computer science class and like calculus classes. And it's kind of easy to ask on for help because we're, at the end of the day, we're all, I'm not saying we're struggling in the same boat, but you know what I'm saying? We all going through the same thing. It's good seeing people around me that look like me, striving to be better.
Thank you. Mignon, first year.
Wait, can you ask that question one more time? I didn't hear it.
Absolutely. Like for those of you who attended HBCUs, what was your experience coming from a predominantly white school and city, and describe the gifts of being a part of an HBCU and the challenges?
For me, I would say the community aspect of being at an HBCU. It's like he said, it's easier. It's easier to find people that are also struggling in the same classes as you. And sorry, I literally I stumbled on my own words. My bad. But it's just being at an HBCU has been a great gift that I've been able to that I've been very very blessed to have. The people around me have been they've been great, and I feel like one of the challenges that I've experienced here is probably like just feeling like I'm not I'm not at the same level as other people, and that is in terms of academics. But when I'm looking around campus and talking to people, I realize that nobody's perfect, and it's been motivating me ever since to continue on. And I guess it's just the community aspect that I really enjoyed here, being at Howard.
Wonderful.
So yeah.
HU, that is the school I believe that Ms. Clark attended.
HU, you know.
I'm gonna relocate. Hopefully I can get a better perspective of the folks. Sorry if my back is if you all don't know, our superintendent, big ups to Dr. Kelly Aramaki. So my next question, starting with Jeremy Mumba. Why did you select the school that you did? And would you make the same choice today? If so, why? And if not, why not?
Really good question. I selected Central because for a few reasons. First, because of its proximity. My family obviously we live in Bellevue, and Central is about an hour and a half away in Ellensburg. So it was far away enough that I can be independent, but it's also close enough where I'm not too far away from home and I can start forging my own identity. Secondly, it's because Central, the student to professor ratio is really good. I could actually interact with my professors, interact with my peers. It was a lot more intimate. And lastly, because of cost and my program. So it was much more affordable compared to other universities. And I had my program, which is an excellent program, by the way. So, and I would make that decision again, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I chose Bellevue College for many different reasons, both financial and also personal reasons. But one of the main reasons I chose Bellevue College was because I finished high school feeling pretty burnt out, and I didn't feel super confident in a decision to just go to a bigger school where I probably be taking classes with 400 students versus 20 student classes. And so I wanted to be in a space where I could get the support that I needed first, and later on I could move on and select a school that was a little more, and that's not me taking a hit at Bellevue College's academic integrity in any way, but I just think it's an easier space for me personally to operate as somebody who just wasn't ready for that big just space like that. So yeah.
And last, Beza, can you answer that same question for me?
Yeah, I think there are probably a few things that made me pick the University of Washington. And one of them, like people mentioned already, was just the proximity. My whole life I said, I'm gonna go out of state, I'm gonna go out of state. I never made it out. So, and that's not a bad thing. That's kind of something that I decided for myself, just because I like being around my friends and my family, and when it was time to make a decision, I really couldn't see myself moving out of state and only coming home for the holidays. It's just it didn't seem like something that was, I don't know, it didn't seem like something that I wanted anymore. But there are a few things that I don't know if I think I would advise people to really look into the schools that they choose to go into, because for me personally, I'm having a good time at UW. The social scene is really good. I like the Black community here, but I wish I had realized how much pressure it is to have to apply for your major on top of getting into a school. And I know UW is probably one of the maybe the only school who does that. So just really research. If you're planning on applying to the University of Washington, figure out what classes you need to take if you're taking community college, if you're going to have them transfer your credits over, because I wish when I was in Running Start that I had been more particular about the classes that I was taking and figured out like what route I was going to take once I got to UW, so that it would have been easier for me to build up my credits that I needed in order to apply for my major, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
Thanks for the insight. That's fantastic. This next question, I'm going to ask Ahmad and Aisha. And with questions like this, you know, I offer that, you know, with sensitive subject matter, you choose to answer in the manner in which you choose to answer. And anything that is difficult to answer, you don't have to answer. If you feel comfortable enough in sharing, have you ever experienced any isolation, depression, anxiety, or racially motivated incidences while attending college? If so, how did you handle that? Let's start with Ahmad and go on to Aisha. Go on to Aisha.
So I'll say answering to like the isolation part, I feel like everyone experienced during the pandemic, not being able to like see like your friends and family. It was a really tough time, especially it was during my senior year. I was doing Running Start, so it was very difficult to like contact counselors and stuff. Kind of plan out the rest of your life. It kind of felt like when I graduated, like I was just released to work. Like, I had to deal with everything on my own, so it was definitely a hard time for me. But I would say how I resolved that situation is being raised by like a single parent my whole life. I've always dealt with adversity. I've always kind of like embraced that challenge. Always had that feeling that I'm gonna get through it no matter what challenge comes my way. Also, adding to the point I said earlier, just having that great support system, having great people that are willing to listen to you when times are tough, really support you. It's really great. I feel like it's essential for everybody.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that.
In terms of isolation, UW is about 4% Black. I'm pretty sure the engineering school is 3% Black. So obviously, you know, you stick out being as Black as, you know, I am. And then also, I'm a first generation college student. So my sister did go to college, but she did a completely different route. She did Running Start. She also studied like a humanities major, communications, which is very different from STEM. So it's just like going through the whole process by yourself, and you know that you're by yourself. It's very difficult. In classes too, when UW is about, I think, 30% Asian and I think 50% white, or 30 and 30 for both of them. People are coming from all over the world, right? UW is a huge school. You don't know where people are coming from. You don't know what people's intentions and mindsets are. So the way I've been combating it, at least in situations that I cannot control, is to go into things with an open mind. You know, sometimes people may say something that seems charged at you, but maybe their intention is not to actually be racist. Maybe they're an international student and their culture is different. They can talk about certain things that we don't talk about in the same way here in the States. Or maybe they're literally just ignorant, which is not an excuse for them, but it's at least a way for you to regulate your own emotions and not let their actions get in the way of your education. And then ways that you can control it. I'm part of a lot of affinity groups. Me and Rasam are both part of National Society of Black Engineers. So just finding communities, like I said earlier, of like-minded people who can like be your friends, be your support system, who understand where you're coming from and also where you're trying to get to, so that you guys can uplift each other and like continue to run this marathon together.
Listen. World leadership right there. Thank you for sharing that. So back to you, Rasan and Mignon. What are some of the benefits and challenges of attending college out of state? In that order, Rasan and Mignon.
So being out of state was never really a problem.
Your mic
Can y'all hear me?
is not working. Mignon, why don't you go first while Mashawn works on his mic tag?
I would say some benefits of being in out of state.
That's our issue.
Can you guys hear me?
That's the issue on our end. Hold tight while we fix our tag.
Hold on.
We're gonna go on to question number 7.
I don't know how that would
Work
be
on that on our
all.
end.
You're good.
What are some of the benefits and challenges of attending Bellevue College and transitioning from Bellevue College to another college or university? And we're gonna go with Mira first, who's presently at Bellevue College, and then talk to Ahmed, who went to Bellevue College and then transitioned. So let's hit a Mira, and then we're gonna go to Ahmed.
Okay, so like benefits, I think obviously you kind of have like a fresh start, you take as many classes as you want to take, prerequisites, things like that, you take summer classes. These are all things that you can transfer to another school if you choose to transfer in the future. You can also talk to different counselors, especially there are kind of Black counselors as well at Bellevue College that I frequently go to get support. So there are kind of just different avenues for support, which I really appreciate. But challenges, I think the social scene is very limited. It's hard to make friends there. A lot of people are just going there to get their business done and kind of get out. There's also a lot of running start students, and they're kind of all just doing their thing. So that's really a challenge for me, as well as just like finding clubs and like extracurriculars to take part in. That's always a challenge.
I
Small campus, but yeah.
I would say benefits from going to Bellevue College, so kind of working out the classes at your own place, not feeling like you have to rush anything. And I would say the big challenge is kind of like where everyone kind of feels like you're missing out on the college experience. Like all your friends aren't making things and stuff, so that's definitely a bummer and stuff. But I'd also say another challenge is like the not knowing I'm trying to like transfer to university, I'm trying to transfer. Just having that feeling like, when am I going to be able to get out of this place? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Bellevue College. Yeah, just not knowing about it. I'm not going to be able to go.
We'll just try again. See if they
Beza, could you unmute and talk and see if you're working? Your mic?
Beza, check in. Or Mignon, check in.
Mignon, respond, can you? Could y'all?
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we cannot hear you. Okay, that's not.
And I can hear y'all.
Beza, check in. Just say mic check. No.
Mic check. You guys can't hear both of us?
Speaker.
I can hear you guys.
I can hear y'all.
Okay, I can hear you guys, but I can't hear them.
Session
I can't hear us.
Session B begins at 8 o'clock. For your convenience, the session recordings and materials will be available on
In the
the college
meantime,
conference page.
we may not be able to have that particular question that we'll fix back before the next session, but we have a second or so, maybe a few minutes before the next section begins. We have a couple of folks in the audience. Are there questions that you all, parents, students have for our panelists that may be an extension of any of the questions that I may have asked on this sheet of paper while we have them here before you move on to your next session? Questions. I know y'all got questions because you always got it. You all are the questions. What you got?
Wait, they still can't hear us?
I think they're still trying to fix it.
change the speaker from the
Okay, go for it.
Talk about it.
I mean, you can sign up for them with like any other classes. I think the difference with them is you might actually have to pay for them out of pocket. I think sometimes like your financial aid doesn't cover summer classes. But I actually haven't taken any summer courses yet, but I might this summer. I don't know. I'll think about it. But yeah, they offer like the same classes that they usually offer during the regular school year. Mostly my favorite. Some classes might not do that there, but yeah, I like it.
Yes,
it's working. It's working.
life wanting to go to a college like outside of Washington State. So like I was kind of doing like the opposite. Like I just wanted to go to UW automatically. Like I didn't even know about UW. I just like so like what were some things that you wish you knew about it beforehand, like before attending, that you think would be like useful to know for someone who's like wanting to apply?
And maybe I should answer this too. Beza,
Were you able to hear the question?
a question for you is, what were some things you wish you knew about UW before you actually applied, were accepted, and attended? What were some things you wish you knew about the UW before you got there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I already mentioned the whole applying to your major kind of thing. Some majors, they don't have any direct admit. So I know a lot of the health sciences, there's no such thing as direct admit. You can't sign up. You have to apply for your major once you get here. So that's what I had to go through. I'm currently taking classes, and you kind of have to keep your GPA up, and it's kind of like applying for college all over again, but except it's your major. So there's that aspect that I wish I kind of researched a little bit more before coming in, or at least had more of the credits that I needed, knocked out some of the harder natural science classes like the chems and the bios in community college, because I was already taking classes there. And another thing that I wish I knew about UW, honestly, I don't have too many complaints other than just the whole applying for your major and all. Oh, actually, I do wish I knew how big the classes can actually be. Some lectures are literally hundreds of people, so it's hard to get in contact with your professor. I had a class that had, I think, about 400 students in it, and it's a really big lecture hall. So if you have questions specifically towards your professor, it's really hard to reach your professor. They will send you off to the teaching assistants, who are pretty much just graduate students who are also taking on the role of a teaching assistant. But you have to keep in mind they also have their own lives and their own obligations, I guess. So yeah, just keep all of that in mind.
I may have something to add as a UW student as well.
Two main things. Like Basil was saying, you have to apply for your major at UW, but some of them you can get direct admit to. So on your application for UW will ask you to rank some of your majors. I would say really do research on the majors that do take direct admit and put those on your ranking. It doesn't make sense for you to put your number one major as maybe like public health. Public health doesn't take any direct admit students. Use that first choice for something that will take you, like engineering. I think college side too is direct admit. So use that wisely. I know a lot of people, they didn't understand that process, and then they just put whatever major on the rankings, got to UW, realized, wait, I wanted to do this at the beginning, I never put it on because I thought it was just, for funsies. So we look at the majors and try to figure out, okay, like, how can I best utilize like my one shot and not have to apply competitively? And two, know the difference between a public school and a private school. If it was a public school, I got like thousands and thousands of dollars in scholarships from private schools for merit scholarships. UW doesn't do that. It's need-based, or you go get scholarships like outside UW. I got an email from UW talking about you get $0.00 in funding. I was looking at that and was like, this is not enough. I didn't know that. I thought, I'm getting $30,000 from Spelman, I'm getting $50,000 from New York schools. I was like, I don't care, I'm going to UW for free. I didn't go to UW for free. Right. Just understand that process, you can know how to like best approach the financial situation with your parents and stuff.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank you, everyone.
Can I also chime in?
Oh, hold on. And then you would like to share something.
Wait, I'm sorry. We were talking about the financials, right?
Yeah. What you got?
Okay, sorry. But I would say that and from personal experience, I was in between UW or Howard, and I was terrified that I wasn't even gonna be able to go to Howard because of how expensive it is. Like Aisha said, I feel like obviously going for whichever school offers you more money is the smarter and better option. But I've realized that once you go to a school that you wanted to go to, there's so many opportunities and so many ways to get scholarships. And I found so many scholarships here at Howard that I thought I wouldn't even be able to get when I was at UW. Because not UW, but UW Bothell. UW Bothell offered me a full ride scholarship in business. But here at Howard University, I was gonna pay, I think, around $10,000 every semester, and I was paying that out of pocket with no help. And I found out that there are so many resources and opportunities. So definitely don't also let the money aspect of it define or help or choose the school you're gonna go to, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you, amazing alumni panel. Appreciate you all so much. And thank you, Shamari, amazing moderator. Miss Edwards, handling all the tasks. And our superintendent. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And our two always have a question.
And I know, shout out to Naomi and Brianna, juniors, Sammamish High School, president of BSU, vice president of BSU. Wonderful.
Hey, we're gonna do all the board meeting. All right, then.
Okay, we're rolling right into session C. So.
Okay. Cool.
We have some.
See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
I sent the information to John and whatever, no one said anything. And we got all but one BSU leader, so from Newport. So what's his name is coming and said, Marlon coming to accept the honor, right?
Elena.
Good job, Bob.
Thank you, sir. Keep on. You back there better ask your questions.
Where are you?
You got a bag?
Where are you? See you, baby.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Where did you go to?
Curtis High School.
Okay. How you like to see you? Are you trying to give us some information? What you go to school for?
Computer science.
Oh, okay. Super cool.
Okay. I think we're starting. We are.
Well, welcome everyone. So excited to have you here. It's just an honor for me to introduce our amazing Bellevue School District Black alumni. We have amazing, phenomenal students who are joining us for this panel to share a little bit about what their high school to college journey has been like, some of their outstanding experiences along with their challenges. It's an honor for me to be here with them and to know them. Most of them I've known for many, many, many years, and they are extraordinary role models. They're phenomenal people. They're people that I treasure having in my life, and am excited to have them share with all of you a little bit about what their journey has been like. I'll let them introduce themselves. And I also want to introduce our amazing moderator, and that is Shamari Jones.
and I appreciate his support over the years. It's been something that's been a constant, not just for myself, but for all of our students in the school district. And he will introduce himself in more detail. And Miss Carolyn Edwards, who is a counselor at Newport High School. And I'm glad, thank you. She came out from behind the computer and she's been doing our tech all evening. So I can't say enough amazing things about her and each of you. And it's an honor to have you with us this evening. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, let's get this party started. This is our last show for the evening. We only have 30 minutes worth of an opportunity to explore and go down the pipeline as we journey into a conversation that will offer an opportunity to inform anyone who's in our listening audience about your experiences, not just here in the Bellevue School District, but your experiences whether you are currently in college or beyond college, and that offer information, insight, and pro tips for anyone who might be in earshot of what it is that you have to offer. I'm Shamari Jones. I'm the Director of Equity and Strategic Engagement for the Bellevue School District. I'm here merely to ask questions and to help to cultivate this conversation that we're going to embark upon for just a short amount of time. And I'm going to start just merely with asking you who you are. So my first question is simply to ask of you to introduce yourselves. And I want to ask you to share with us where you graduated from, meaning your high school. Let's throw in what year you graduated from high school. And then add to that where you went off to college. And think about that journey from high school to college. And along that journey, share some things about what helped you to survive and then to thrive in your transition along the way. And so we're going to start with the people here who are in the room, and then we're going to offer the opportunity for the folks who are on the screen, and I'll call you by name once we get to you, to share as well. So we'll start with Aisha, we'll go down the line, and we'll hit those on the screen.
Hi guys, I'm Aisha. I graduated in 2020 from Alumni High School. I'm a current graduating senior studying electrical computer engineering at the University of Washington. Without any questions, right? Okay.
No, we want to ask you about your journey.
Oh, okay. And my transition from high school to college, transition from high school to college, is attributed to having mentors. I know a lot of people tell you to get mentors or to network. And it's like sometimes those terms can be like daunting, or like you may not even know exactly what that is. But really, it's just like meeting people who are willing to help you and who are like are gonna have open arms for you, like you can cry on their shoulder. They'll give you like Miss Cardi, there was plenty of meals every Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Yes, food.
We were hungry, like sometimes it's not much food at home. So you just getting people like even like people on a panel who are willing to like give you advice, like that's what people mean by mentorship and networking, not just going out to random events and shaking a bunch of hands for a reason, but finding meaningful connections that can actually help you get to where you want to go.
Thank you.
My name is Amira Shahan, and I graduated from Pane High School in 2023 and currently going to Bellevue College studying political science. And something that helped me with my transition from high school to college was having a good community, having mentors, having great friends. And I also had a life coach who helped me out like very much with just like the transition of going into college, especially community college, where I like didn't really know what I should have been doing with my time or what classes I should be taking. So that was like very, 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 very helpful for me. Yeah.
Can we find what is a life coach?
I know it sounds very fancy, but actually, I somebody basically is a friend who had recommended this guy to me, and he basically is just like a mentor. And I met with him like once every other week, and he basically just let me bring like any problems or anything that I needed help with to him, and he'd find like a real solution that worked for me based on like my personality and like all of these other different factors that I talking about. And he was like really great to work with, honestly, very helpful. So yeah.
My name is Ahmed Jama. I graduated from Interlake High School 2020. Currently a junior at Seattle University, pursuing a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. Will help me survive and thrive against some of this transition with piggybacking on the point she made, having a great mentor. I was just talking to Jeremy before the session started. Having a great mentor like Christian Page during high school, I always remember like his spoken word and stuff. Also having programs like Boom is amazing. Great.
Hello again, everybody. My name is Jeremy Mumba, and I'm also an Interlake graduate. I graduated the year before Ahmed, so 2019. I studied law and justice and cybersecurity at Central Washington University, where I graduated in December. And I survived and thrived, again, just like everyone said in the panel, just through a strong support system, through mentors, through family, through friends, through pastors, youth leaders who just encouraged me, who pushed me to be better, and who just believed in me and loved me. So, yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to go to the folks on the screen, and we're going to start with Mignon. We're going to go to Besa, and we're going to end with Rassan. No, she's good. She's just not on. Oh, can you hear me, Mignon? Rassan nodded yes. Rassan can hear me. Mignon. Okay, we're going to go to Besa.
Bro, I have my volume down. I'm so sorry.
This is classic Mignon.
Sorry.
Okay, we're going to go to Mignon, then we're going to go to Besa, then we're going to go to Rassan.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Mignon. I'm a freshman international business major, and I graduated in 2023 at Sammamish High School. And I currently attend Howard University. And the question was what helped me with my transition, right?
Thrive and survive. Thrive and survive.
I would say coming from an African household, like I didn't get as much support with the college process and transitioning to college. But I would say like I said before, Ms. Clark really helped me with the transition. I felt like I was more prepared with her support, with applying for scholarships, applying for, now applying for internships. And I feel like she made the process a lot more understandable and easier for me. But if it wasn't for her, I honestly wouldn't know what to do now. And in high school too, I was heavily involved in my academics and sports as well. So I've always, and I'm a very social person, so just being involved in clubs and organizations it's not hard for me, and making friends was not hard as well. But I would say Miss Clark was a great support for me. And yeah.
Thank you. Besa.
Hey everyone, my name is Besa. I graduated from Interlake High School in 2022. And I'm currently at the University of Washington in Seattle. And one thing that really helped me with my transition from high school to college, not to be redundant, was Ms. Clark. I was involved with a lot of her programs, the Youth and Government program, and I think my year was when we co-founded Eastside Black Girls for Change and Eastside Youth Coalition and all of those programs. So I would say she has been a big resource for me, and she kind of goes above and beyond to make sure that we get the help that we need. Even if she can't help us, she'll find someone who can help us. So take advantage of Ms. Clark is my biggest advice. And also just build a support system around yourself. And I feel like Ms. Clark is also really good at helping you find the people that are going to be helpful to you moving forward. So yeah, that's what helped me thrive.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rassan Corbin. I'm a 2019 Sammamish High School graduate. I currently attend Florida Florida A&M University studying computer engineering. Some things that definitely helped me with my transition from high school to college was making sure I stayed involved. I was heavily involved in high school with BSU, SOAR, youth and government, etc. The list is very extensive. And now I'm also heavily involved on my campus, and it helped me stay motivated to keep pushing through my classes, keep pushing through these internships and whatnot. So, and like kind of like everybody said, that kind of built my support system, my extensive support system at school.
Thank you all very much for answering question 1 in 12 minutes. We have 18 minutes left, Ms. Clark, to answer 6 more questions. We're going to blaze through. So, question number 2, Beza, what do you wish you knew about the entire college process when you were in high school that you now know?
There are a lot of things that I wish I knew, but one of them would be kind of not to neglect applying for colleges, to as in like it's never too early to start thinking about college. And I know it can be kind of like a stressful topic, but I think it's important to start as early as you can to try and get the resources that you need and build the network that you need and find the people that are going to help you when you're applying for colleges. So that's one thing that I wish I knew, was just to be involved in clubs and build my extracurricular activities list and all of that sort of stuff as early as possible. I don't think freshman year is too early to start thinking about college. And yeah, I think that would be my biggest piece of advice. And another thing would just be to really research the schools that you want to go into. I applied to a lot of schools, and thinking back, I'm not even sure if I would be happy at half the schools that I applied to. So don't waste your energy. Do your research beforehand.
Thank you. I totally agree with that. What about you, Ashley?
On basis from like starting the application process early, even now like people will tell you like what's your brand. When you're applying for colleges, right, like you have your extracurriculars, you have your essays, you have even those like little boxes that say, okay, well, like what were some of your circumstances that maybe got a bad grade, or you mentioned like you work a job. That all goes into like who you are as a person. So don't feel like, okay, BSU plus my job, they don't relate. Maybe your BSU or your social activism stems from the fact that you had to work hard your whole life, you have that job. So just finding ways to connect all the pieces of your story so that when you present yourself, you can get like an entire read of you from that one application. That's what's going to make you like the best bet of getting into college of your choice.
Rasan, it was such a privilege for me to have an opportunity to attend a historically Black university, Tuskegee, down in Alabama, way back in the day. And I know both you and Mignon have that opportunity right now. And I'm wondering, from your current experience, especially coming from a dominantly non-Black, more of a PWR or white city and school district, that could be somewhat of a difficult transition. So I want you to please describe like what that experience is for you, like what are the benefits and maybe what are the challenges for you first, Rasan, and then I want you to also answer that question.
Oh yeah, certainly. So in high school and before I transferred to Florida A&M, I was in those higher level math classes. Since I'm computer engineering, I was in computer science, I was in calculus and whatnot. And most time I was one of 2 or 3 or the only Black person in the class. So being here has definitely given me more motivation to push through those classes, especially as they progressively got harder. And it made me not as afraid to, I don't want to say as afraid, but it made me more comfortable asking questions within the classroom because I also had Black professors, because I had my first Black computer science teacher when I got here. So that made me more motivated because seeing them in the position made me want to keep going.
Mignon.
Oh, I would say definitely the opportunities of being at an HBCU. Like you see a lot of, for me here at Howard University, we are partnered up with a program called the 21 Cap program, which are companies, well, for school of business specifically, but they are companies that recruit from HBCUs, but we work directly with them. And I feel like going to PWI, like you don't get that. Like here at school at Georgetown, they don't have that there. And I feel like it's just the opportunities that are here are not what you would find at any other schools that you would go to. And what was the other part? It was like just
Challenges.
Was
Any
that it?
challenges you may face or experience?
I haven't experienced any like drastic change challenges. I love being at an HBCU. I would say like sometimes you can feel like you're not. Yeah, I don't really know. I feel like I feel really comfortable here. I've met my people and the community is great as well too. So, and yeah.
Thank you much. I felt that way too. Why did you select the school that you did? And why did you select the school that you did, and would you make the same choice today? Why or why not, Jeremy?
All right, good question. Yeah. So for 3 reasons. First, proximity, obviously. Central, an hour and a half away from Bellevue, far away from home, but not too far away, so I can be independent and start, becoming my own man, away from family, and I can still always come back and check in on them. Cost was very affordable compared to some other universities I applied at back in my senior year of high school. And lastly, program and class sizes. It's a lot more intimate in the classroom, so I can interact with my professors. I built really strong relationships with them, with my peers, and they gave me great references, and I just got to know everyone better. Yeah.
Samir, why did you select Bellevue College, and would you select Bellevue College again today? Why or why not?
So I chose Bellevue College for a bunch of different reasons, financial reasons. I also chose Bellevue College just because I didn't feel comfortable going to a big university right after high school. I still wanted to experiment with different classes, hopefully be in like a smaller size class with 30 students, 40 students, rather than a big readout class, like 400 students. So yeah, that was like really the biggest reason that I chose Bellevue College, and I'm like a quarter and a half in so far. So honestly, I really wouldn't change my decision right now. I don't know how I'll feel in like the next 2 years, but right now I feel pretty confident.
Awesome. How about you, Besa?
Oh, Besa had to go. She had to drop off early, and she thanked everyone and wished everybody good luck with their college application processes.
Thank you, Besa. Okay, so if you feel comfortable sharing, and I leave folks with this caveat anytime I ask a question that is one where you're providing personal information, especially any information that is complex, where I am asking something pertaining to you, revealing parts of yourself that may be difficult to share. Please only share anything that you are deeply comfortable with sharing and nothing more. This question is specifically for Aisha and Ahmed. If you feel comfortable in sharing, have you ever experienced any isolation, depression, anxiety, racially motivated incidences while attending college? And if so, how did you handle that?
So adding on to what I said earlier in the last section, I think during COVID, I think it was a good time for us to really like full uncertainty about things that are happening in the world. So what helped me or gave me the tools to go through that was being part of programs that you think of helped me build kind of like that foundation to really embrace those challenges head on, really attack it. So I'm grateful for being part of programs like that. So that's good. I realize we have like
we have plenty of time.
Yeah, the two things I touched on last time were like openness towards other people and like giving people grace if you can not handle the situation yourself, and also finding affinity groups, like people who are trying to get the same end goal as you, who can lift you up. But even within that too, especially like if you're feeling like depression, anxiety, there are ways you can make school work for you. Like I just thought about some of my affinity groups. There have been people who like sat me down and were like, okay, you need to work, but you also obviously to pass your classes because I wasn't, but now I am. And they really wrote down, like, okay, what scholarships can you apply for that will now let you not have to work, but those scholarships also apply for your classes. Or you can do something called research, where it's like you're kind of working with a professor to make some new innovation, and they'll pay you for that, and that also counts for your classes. Now I didn't have to take a class. And it's like, I just recently came back from the Dominican Republic for free, going on a trip from that research that took place from a class that's also paying me. You know, so it's like, especially if you're feeling like anxiety, depression, or just like you're not finding yourself in a big college, because that's maybe like your first gen, or you're not even sure how college works, there are ways you can break things down and like make things work for you as well. Oh, nice.
I was like stuck on that. I didn't hear nothing beyond. I went to the Okay, so for my two who are on the screen, Mignon and then Rasan, what are some of the benefits and challenges of attending an out-of-state school?
I'm gonna say staying up till 11:30.
I know, right? Both on the East Coast. Mignon first and then Rasan. An out-of-state school, what are some of the benefits and challenges?
I would say some benefits would be just being a whole new environment. Coming from the West Coast, like I would say I've always wanted to go out of state. So just being able to feeling that sense of individuality is what I really needed. And I found out that it was really challenging, and like it's incredible just being in a whole new environment where you're I guess like being challenged like socially and like academically. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's a great feeling. And I would say like one of the challenges is just not being close to home, not being able to just go home and, you know, be with your family. But besides that, I've been enjoying being on the East Coast. It's hot here, but I like it. So really hot. Like I don't understand. I can't.
It's the humidity.
All right. For me, being here hasn't really been a challenge. This is actually the fourth state I lived in since 2015. So I never had a problem with making friends or being social and whatnot. One thing I did have a problem with was getting over homesickness, because there have been times where I missed birthday parties and just celebrations in general for like people's accomplishments and accolades and whatnot from family and friends. But other than that, I always encourage people to move out of state, because a lot of people here are like, you moved around so much, you must have so much experience. I mean, it's cool moving around, but like I'm down in Florida by myself. But it also expanded my network too, and kind of brought some full circle moments. Like I ran into Aisha back in March last year at the NSB conference, and I'm going to see her again this March at the same conference. So it'll be cool seeing some more full circle moments like that.
Beautiful. That's also for free.
Where is this conference?
Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta. Come on now. Is what's his name still the president of NSB from Seattle? What's the gentleman's name? I'll think about it.
It's me this year.
I mean, of the national organization, the actual adult who's Carl Mack.
He's not anymore, but he's actually coming this Friday to UW to speak. Oh, yeah, he's great. I'm the president.
Oh, who doesn't know Carl Mack?
And then you're the president of that? Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm the president of my chapter too.
Wonderful. Y'all are amazing. Oh my God.
Okay, so let me ask the last question.
Phenomenal.
What are some of the benefits and challenges of attending Bellevue College and transitioning from Bellevue College to another college or university? We're going to start with Amira. We're going to Ahmed.
Okay, so starting off with the benefits, if you're somebody who doesn't know exactly what you want to study, you get the time to take a bunch of different classes, you can fill up your prerequisites before you decide to transfer, or even if you're choosing to stay. There's a bunch of classes that you can take that are really great. Bellevue College is an amazing school, and they have a ton of different resources that you can also access. I have counselors that I go to very frequently to get support when it comes to academics or just scholarships, a ton of random different things. But the challenges, socially, it's very difficult. You can't make friends as easily as you would at a bigger university, and that was like something that kind of making the decision really difficult for me because I'm somebody who's like pretty social and I wanted to be in a space where I could make friends and meet new people, do all those things, but I had different priorities, so I sacrificed that, and that's something that you have to think about if you're going to community college. Just in general, you're probably not going to make as many friends as you think you are, and socialize with them.
Definitely, I would say to add on to her point, benefits is there's great counselors at Bellevue College. I think it has a really great support system. And I'll say like challenges. I feel like there's more challenges for like all people that graduate high school. Part of self-advocating for yourself. I feel like in high school, like Miss Edwards used to come to my class and be like, "You got too many assignments and stuff. You can't be doing this." Like in the real world, there's no one that ever comes to your house and be like, "You got to pay your rent." Ever happened?
Eventually, though, they do.
At some point
they do.
At the end, there is.
So I think that was a challenge at first. Try yourself out.
Yeah. Okay, well, this concludes my questions. Are there any questions from members of our illustrious audience? Are you sure?
I just have one question. I know that y'all in college and y'all live in the dorm. So the students, they'll be going off, they'll be no longer in their parents' home, they'll be in the dorm. Have there been any type of issues with that? Like with living with other people?
I can answer that. Just as a reminder.
Wait, could you ask that question one more time?
Materials will be posted on the college conference.
What's that extend to that or?
But yeah, dorms, you never know who you're gonna live with,
Safe drive home and a good rest of your evening.
People can be messy, a lot of different, it's just, you don't know who you're gonna be, living with, who you're gonna be. Your neighbors are, they can be loud, but I think for the most part, you have RAs to support you. You also just talk to people. People are very, respectful. If you just explain to them what they did wrong, or if someone comes to you and says, you're able to clean up your stuff or this or that. So yeah, I just say just build up your it'll help build up your social interaction skills, and you just be honest with people. Just talk to your RA, have trouble, and
Yeah, and the question was living in a dorm with someone else. How has that been for you, especially with the young people going to live with someone else? They're not with their parents and they're with someone else, and like even networking, how important that is to be social. Could you give us any?
I would say my experience has been great. Me and my roommate get along pretty well. We're two completely different people. She's introverted and doesn't really go out much. She's basically, yeah, we're two opposite people, and I feel like that's what brought us together. And because I'm an extrovert and I talk a lot. Like the people that went to high school with me, they would know that I'm a pretty extroverted person. So so I would say like it's like you said, it's very important to to expand your horizons and talk to people, because I don't know, but don't be afraid to room with strangers, because I don't know. I had a great experience with it, so you know what I mean? And if you don't like your roommate, you can always switch. So
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Yeah, audience. Wait. Okay, so like, come back here. Well, I think we're I just want to thank everyone so much. Y'all stay on. This is from me to you. You all are, okay. I always say this is the part of the evening when I start crying.
Oh,
But
my God.
you all are extraordinary. And it's been the joy of my life to be in your lives and know each of you. And you have you made everything I've done so meaningful, and cannot thank you enough. But what I admire the most is that you have persevered, been resilient, survived, thrived, and just are examples of pure excellence. And you should be so proud of yourself. We're so proud of you. And the fact that you keep coming back each year to be a part of these panels, we're year 4. This is your senior year. You've been doing freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Each of you, so many, Aisha, Jeremy, all of you. This is your first year. America just graduated. Ahmed, Beza has left. But we really cannot express how grateful we are for your presence and your willingness to give back to students who are on the journey that you're on and that you have done. And you give yourselves a round of applause because
Having mentors, you're everything. You now are, the mentors for the next group.
You're the role model and the example, and you continue to be so.
Great.
And I have to give a big shout out to Shamari Jones. Shamari! Because, you do